change with mobile. All the right stuff is right here. That's Penske Auto Center. It's the quality car care system.
Crew Chief full-service oil change, $19.99 every day. No coupons, no appointments.
Right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
A messy winter storm is moving into the northeast, and it will make tomorrow's rush hour a very, very slippery one. Hello and welcome to Weather Center. I'm Sharon Resulton.
And I'm Dan Atkinson. We're also watching some light snow in the upper Midwest and a storm moving into the Pacific Northwest. But let's start with the mess in the east, and it certainly is a mess. There is icy precipitation for you. Not all that you're seeing here on radar is ice. There is snow falling across southern portions of the state of New York and into southern New England. But a lot of the state of Pennsylvania reporting freezing rain and sleet, particularly southern portions of Pennsylvania. We'll take a closer look in just a moment at radar. But you can see from this depiction, the areas in orange are the areas where it's hazardous travel, with icy glaze developing on bridges and overpasses. What's happening is this is the southern extent of an Arctic air mass. The high pressure center is over eastern Canada, and it's an incredibly strong Arctic high pressure area. Very, very dry as well. Dew points over eastern Canada in the range of 45 to 50 degrees below zero, so very dry air. As a consequence of that, it's cold and dry across northern New England and northern portions of New York State, but enough moisture even in the lower levels of the atmosphere so that the precipitation is reaching the surface in the form of light snow around Boston, for example, back toward Binghamton, but freezing rain, and it's been occurring for hours in places like Cincinnati, on over toward Columbus, Ohio, Pittsburgh, and during the evening your temperature has dropped in the Philadelphia area so that you are now getting freezing rain. Here's the 24-hour temperature drop. In Philadelphia, you're 13 degrees colder now than you were yesterday at this time. In New York City, 22 degrees colder. Similarly, a drop in Boston of the same. 31 degrees colder now in Albany than you were at this hour yesterday or last night. Albany, your temperature is 2 below. It's 15 in Boston, 23 degrees now in New York City, 30 in Philadelphia, and 22 degrees in Pittsburgh. Of course, a number of areas in the single digits or below zero in northern Maine or northern Vermont, Burlington, 14 below, 17 below at Caribou. And you add the wind chill is 42 below at Burlington, 52 below is the wind chill now in Caribou. So this is a dangerous system. We're not talking about a blizzard in terms of a lot of heavy snow or reduced visibility, that sort of thing, but the combination of areas where you have dangerous wind chills, and then in cases where you have the icy road conditions, this is a storm that really has to be reckoned with. And we certainly advise you to check in with us from time to time here on the Weather Channel, particularly if you have to head out, and we advise you to stay put instead of getting out on the roads, say in the New York City area where right now you have light freezing rain. It's not only causing some problems on the roadways, but also slowing air traffic as well. Philadelphia, light freezing rain all the way back through Pittsburgh on into Columbus, Ohio, and Cincinnati. Here's a closer view from Boston down through New York City on toward the nation's capital, where things are dry for now, but we expect as the Arctic front sags on southward, you will likely have freezing rain developing after midnight and very tricky travel for you for the morning commute in the nation's capital around the Beltway. Let's show you what it's like now around Westchester County in southeastern New York State, where driving is certainly no picnic tonight in this suburb of the New York metro area. This is the scene in Westchester County where winter weather will make Thursday's rush hour a struggle for commuters. And here's a look at basically the breakdown for the Wednesday morning weather pattern as you drive to work. It looks like you'll still be dealing with snow in the Boston area and right along the Mass Pike, as well as portions of the New York State Thruway. Binghamton, Elmira, on over toward Jamestown, New York, and Bradford, Pennsylvania, other areas in northern Pennsylvania. Looking for snow tomorrow morning as you head to work. But in the dark pink area here, this is where the icy conditions will likely be a problem for you. From the Garden State Parkway on back toward Pittsburgh, even into portions of eastern Ohio and northern portions of Virginia and West Virginia. Interstate 79, I-70, and certainly the secondary roads will be treacherous in places, and especially the bridges and overpasses. So be very careful. Don't get on the roads if you can avoid it, and certainly check in here at the Weather Channel. Here's the latest on what's happening elsewhere across the country from Sharon.
Well, compared to what Dan was just talking about, it's relatively quiet, but there are some other trouble spots that you need to be aware of. The wind chills, as you'll see in a moment, across the upper Midwest are also dangerously cold, and we've got some snow and blowing snow to contend with. Not expecting huge amounts of snow, but as we head into northernmost Minnesota, some areas could top out at maybe 4 to 6 inches. After all is said and done, then the winds kick in and reduce the visibilities there. Note, too, that the moisture extends all the way back down into the south, and we are finding the potential for some stronger thunderstorms. Not necessarily a big outbreak of severe weather, nothing like that, but we have had a few strong thunderstorms, and now some of that working on into the panhandle of Florida, so we'll be watching that area very, very carefully. Some of these thunderstorms into southeast Texas are making their way toward the coast, and as we take a wider view here, a longer view, you'll be able to see that the thunderstorms are stretching into south central Tennessee and across I-65 into northern Alabama. A break for you right now around Atlanta, Georgia, but probably not getting quite so lucky as we head into your Thursday. Some of that moisture will be moving back in and watering some of those backyard gardens. All right, as we go into the upper Midwest, again, it's a snow event. It's possible we could see some reduced visibilities due to the blowing snow. Snow still coming down around Grand Forks, back down toward Fargo, and still light snow being reported around Minneapolis. Probably only picking
mainly a mix from Allentown.